wish they didn't do that. And Marco has been fantastic. Marco, stand up, please. You have done a great job as Secretary of State. He's going to go down as the best Secretary of State. And Scott, and we have Susie, who's the first female Chief of Staff, and she's the best Chief of Staff, too. And I see Howard Lutnick, who I know spoke, and Howard's fantastic. Some of the deals we're doing are great. And I want to pay particular attention because we have Chris. And Chris, you got up and spoke, I think. He's the #1 oil man in the world, because I was going to put Doug Burgum, who's fantastic. I don't know if Doug's here. Is Doug here? Doug Burgum is fantastic. He said, sir, there's one man better than me. And he introduced me to Chris, and he turns out to be. So we're drilling more oil and gas now than we ever have by almost double. Is that right, Chris? And on top of it, we got a lot coming out of Venezuela. So anyway, so we're doing. Be quiet! Other people. We have we have I got so many people. I'm in trouble because when I go back, they're going to be people with long faces. Sir, you didn't introduce me. I got so many people. And we have a lot of the greatest people anywhere in the world. I know them all. So I won't continue because we'd be here all day.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Why do you feel a necessity to insult people?
Again. Where's the script? Where's the script? Read the script.
Is this a big defensive thing that you've got? Why don't you read your own script?
What kind of deal, in the end, do you see between the U.S. And Denmark? Because, you know, I guess you see it now as a negotiation going on, or?
Well, it's costing Denmark hundreds of millions a year to run it. And Denmark's a small country and wonderful people. But, you know, it's very expensive. Ice. And it's very important. I mean, I don't want to repeat the speech, but it's very important that we use that for national and international security. That can create
Jesus. Is this a joke? Huh? Are you joking right now?
To do anything against the perceived good ones. And it's a great block for Europe. Just like, you know, Denmark was supposed to spend hundreds of millions of dollars. They didn't spend the money. They didn't spend anything almost.
And a lot of white folk have demonstrated eloquently that they don't have no sense.
Boy, you looking like a milk dud. Nigga thought he was Michael Jordan. Boy, you looking like Blank Man. Boy, you looking like Lil Bill.
How you die does not redeem how you lived. You do not become a hero in your death when you are a weapon of the enemy in your life.
Well, negotiations, right? Politics.
And we're out of time. So you
Hey, y'all, Gravity. Any day above ground, live it. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your Wednesday. You know what Wednesday mean? Go out and hum some. Yo, man, fuck Trump for real. That piece of crap, man. I understand what he's doing. He's destabilizing Europe. He's going to fuck up America so he can run to the desert when this is all said and done, with billions in the pocket, Jared and Ivanka being near billionaires, the Saudis and all the Middle East people and the Arabs, they're going to be billionaires, hand over fist, working with BRICS to control the world market. And his sycophants are going to be the first ones smoking, making sure their passports are right to go run their bitch asses in the desert to look like them Edomites from the Bible. I know what the play is. That motherfucker sitting there effing with Europe, damn near crashed the market yesterday, took out $1.3 trillion in market value. You got the idiots over there talking about, oh, buy the dip. Okay, dickhead, how you going to buy the dip and then the shit go back up the next day? It's going to cost you more now. How does that work? You just heard him talking about, oh, we need Greenland for strategic defense against China and Russia. Hey, bitch ass, you done had 2 Russian ships show up outside the coast of Cuba within the last year. I ain't hearing nothing about, oh, we need to go down there and talk to them leaders and see what's going on. How the hell did they let that happen? Trying to get in ships as close as Mexico. You didn't say a word about that, now did you? Now you're running around talking about, oh, I had a great relationship with Xi before C-19. Yes, because he wanted you to destabilize Europe, you dick. He knew you were going to let him do whatever he wanted to do with BRICS. He knew it. And he knew you still had to come to the table and ask him to give us stuff. You're a prostitute. Now you're talking about, oh, I'm not going to go take Greenland by force. Why? Because them white people came out on you and said, you try that, we're going to fight you. NATO said, we're not giving you no more intelligence. The EU said, word, we're going to put tariffs on you. Now you want to act like you being diplomatic because you got Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio got cursed out. You're trying to save face. By the way, I find it funny. I'm fixing to show y'all this. I find it funny that I got bitch ass MAGA over here telling us how bad the World Economic Forum is and we need to leave it. And then Trump leaves it. And within a few months, he's sitting there talking. Oh, wait a minute. They're going to tell me that that was a lie. Okay. All right. Oh, y'all don't remember that. Okay, we're gonna show it to you, MAGA, since you don't remember this. Oh man. Trump tells you during the election cycle the World Economic Forum is corrupt. He tells you this. And then he goes sit down there within a year. And y'all still want to tell me that he's this great leader. He knows what he's doing. He based. All right. WEF confirms investigations into claims against their founder, Klaus Schwab. Right. Remember how conservatives was running around saying how Klaus Schwab is awesome? Oh, And they fell for this. Once again, they fell for this. It's just amazing. And then watch, we're going to look. Y'all ready? I think you're ready.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in.
Sorry, it took me a little bit to find this clip, but this was when Trump first went to Davos. Let's hear what he said.
To embrace the possibilities of tomorrow, we must reject the perennial prophets of doom and their predictions of the apocalypse. They are the heirs of yesterday's foolish fortune tellers, and I have them, and you have them, and we all have them. And they want to see us do badly, but we don't let that happen. They predicted an overpopulation crisis in the 1960s, mass starvation in the 70s, and an end of oil in the 1990s. These alarmists always demand the same thing: absolute power to dominate, transform, and control every aspect of our lives. We will never let radical socialists destroy our economy, wreck our country, or eradicate our liberty. America will always be the proud, strong, and unyielding bastion of freedom.
Now, I want y'all, I hope you listen to everything he said, because number one, peep the date, 2020. So this was right before C-19. We're going to play it again. And again, for those who just came in or those that weren't really listening, I need you to really listen now, because he's telling you what the script is. Now, number one, when he said this, MAGA were losing their mind. They were saying this is how a president and a world leader should be. Okay.
Embrace the possibilities of tomorrow, we must reject the perennial prophets of doom and their predictions of the apocalypse.
Okay, predictions of the apocalypse. Sir, you sat up there for months saying how we were making all this record profit, yet you keep saying this, and not one of your sycophants that you have in your administration puts out documents. Not one. Y'all are just feeding the media the bullshit. The apocalypse is the eventual recession that they're going to declare. Now he want to talk about doom and gloom, you know, the panicking and all that. Yet every time they mention people that are against this administration, when we say there's something he's not doing right, I think he should have did this, they're saying we're worrying because they get a little bit of positivity. Like today, Dow falls off a cliff yesterday. It's up 200 something points now. They're going to say, see, y'all panicked for nothing. No, stupid. That doesn't mean anything. Oh, I get it. You thought because you saw a loss yesterday and then a win, you thought it was 1,000-point turnaround, right? When it's not that, but okay. All right. Cool. Cool, because you think that. Continue, sir.
They are the heirs of yesterday's foolish fortune tellers, and I have them, and you have them, and we all have them. And they want to see us do badly, but we don't let that happen. They predicted an overpopulation crisis in the 1960s.
And we actually did have an overpopulation crisis. Did you forget what China was doing, sir? I think you forgot that. But okay.
Mass starvation in the 70s.
Mass starvation. You literally had how many famines happen since the 70s, sir? How many humanitarian crises have happened in this world since the 70s? Okay. He's going to keep going. Keep going.
And an end of oil in the 1990s.
And what are we hearing right now, sir? Is oversupply. The companies done told you last year, there's no point in us drilling. They told you that. But you had to come up with an excuse. So you're doing this oil move with Venezuela to power data centers. We understand what the play is. Keep going.
These alarmists always demand the same thing: absolute power to dominate, transform, and control every aspect of our lives.
And you're sitting here telling your base that you want Greenland and Canada. And that doesn't sound like absolute power. Okay.
We will never let radical socialists destroy our economy, wreck our country.
You're literally a socialist, sir. Oh, I know. I shouldn't have said that. Right? Trump's not a socialist. He's a capitalist, right? He didn't do nothing to be a socialist. Trump didn't do that. It wouldn't make sense. It just wouldn't make sense for him to do something like that, because that would go against everything. Get to work. Sorry, I pushed the wrong thing. That would go against everything he's ever said about his people.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in.
This is how real it is to The Rock. Chills. This is how real it is to The Rock.
Trump's student loan repayment overhaul. That's interesting. And then they killed him because he was going to do a capitalist move by garnishing your wages. Then he got called out for it, and now they say, no, we're not going to do it. But he wants to talk about socialism. Socialism. Oh, we're going to give out $2,000 checks to people. That's not socialist? Oh, okay. Right. That's just a tax return, right? Oh, okay. All right. I could do it without congressional authority. Sounds real socialist. Okay. But let's worry about the cocksucker up there in New York. Let's worry about the people in Virginia. Okay. You see the federal power, the socialists, the same dude who say, listen, I'm finna send troops wherever I want. Yeah, that's not socialist. Okay. Right, they're gonna tell me that's communist, but Trump not no communist. Okay. All right. And the funny thing is they keep falling for this. $1.3 trillion is gone. Gone. They're going to tell you it was a wealth transfer. Right. Right. Yeah. Everybody in this room made money. Yeah. We paying their tariffs. All right. Oh, who also remember when that one dude yelled at me when I said this on X. I said that these streaming services are paying tariffs on the stuff. Motherfucker tell me I'm lying. And then it comes out months later that these production companies and people like Disney and Netflix are paying tariffs on their leased out properties. Right. But we're not paying no tariffs. That's what they told us yesterday. We're not paying no tariffs. Okay. All right. When budget gonna kick it, or so you think there'll be another government shutdown in a month? Probably, because ain't nobody talking about it. So probably. Ain't that perfect for President's Week? Ain't that perfect? They gonna get a 2-week vacation. I wonder how MAGA is looking at this. Because again, this man shitted on the World Economic Forum. I'm almost tempted to play the speech. China makes almost all the windmills, yet I have not been able to find any wind farms in China. The fuck are you talking about? What? Like, how does he lie like this? Who is feeding him? It can't be Marco, because he just put Marco over. Sir. Like, dude, oh wait, I can't. This one is Yale. I can't use Yale. They're woke. I could give a shit. There you go. This is China. You know, the home of the Kung Flu. That's what he called it. Yeah, no wind farm, huh? Okay. Nah, I ain't over here caping for China. Look at that solar farm. I ain't caping for China. I'm just trying to tell you a story. Who is feeding him this intel? They even got it near water. Like, come on, bro. If you're gonna lie correctly. Yes, there's ways to lie correctly. But he tell you they ain't got no wind farms. Okay. All right. No wind farms. Okay. All right, fuck it. We'll play it. I'm gonna go find it. Anyway, how y'all doing today? I always forget to ask that. There's something seriously wrong with this man. Ain't got no wind farms. Who mans is this? Look how they're framing it. Trump's shocking Davos speech. Like, are y'all serious?
We're leading China by a lot. I think
no,
President
you ain't.
Respects what we've done, in part because I've allowed.
Wait, I can't use that one. All right, here we go. I'll speed it up because I know Miss Nisi about to cuss me. All right, let's see what this asshole is talking about. All right, here we go. President of the United States. Fuck him. Jackass.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Thank you very much, Larry.
By the way, he about to lie to a whole bunch of majority white people in that room. It's going to be hilarious.
To address so many respected business leaders, so many friends, few enemies, and all of the distinguished guests. It's a who's who, I will say that. I've come to this year's World Economic Forum with truly phenomenal news from America. Yesterday marked the one-year anniversary of my inauguration, and today, after 12 months back in the White House, our economy is booming, growth is exploding.
Wrong. He lied already. He lied already. But okay. By the way, again, we're going to highlight this point. Anybody that tries to bring up GDP with America, just walk away from them. Please just walk away.
Productivity is surging, investment is soaring, incomes are rising. Inflation has been defeated. Our previously
How is
open
inflation
and dangerous
defeated,
border
sir?
is closed and virtually impenetrable. And the United States is in the midst of the fastest and most dramatic economic turnaround in our country's history. Under the Biden administration, America was plagued by the nightmare of stagflation, meaning low growth and high inflation, a recipe for misery, failure, and decline. But now, after just 1 year of my policies, we are witnessing the exact
Because he
opposite.
expected his
Virtually no inflation
his acts
and
to
extraordinarily
help it, and
high
it didn't.
economic growth. Growth like I believe you'll see very shortly our country has never seen before, perhaps no country has ever seen before. Over the past 3 months, core inflation has been just 1.6%. Meanwhile, fourth quarter growth is projected to be 5.4%, far greater than anybody other than myself and a few others had predicted.
Well, how did
Since
you
the
predict
election, the
that?
stock market has set 52 all-time high records. So that's in 1 year, 52 records, adding $9 trillion in value to retirement accounts, 401ks, and people's savings. People are doing very well. They're very happy with me. Since my inauguration, 5.4%, far more. You'll see very shortly. Our country has never seen before, perhaps no country has ever seen before. Over the past 3 months, core inflation has been just 1.6%.
How does he tell
Meanwhile,
this
fourth quarter
goddamn lie? How does he tell this lie? They literally came out with it last week. Literally. And he's going to go in front of these white people in Europe who are ahead of us in terms of hours. And you tell that lie. It was 2.6, not 1.6. Stop telling that lie.
Growth is projected to be 5.4%, far greater than anybody other than myself and a few others had predicted. Since the election, the stock market has set 52 all-time high records. So that's in 1 year, 52 records, adding $9 trillion in value to retirement accounts, 401ks, and people's savings. People are doing very well. They're very happy with me. Since my inauguration, we've lifted more than 1.2 million people off of food stamps, and after 4 years in which Biden secured less than $1 trillion of new investment in our country. Think of that, 1 trillion, substantially less than that. In 4 years, we've secured commitments for a record-breaking $18 trillion, and we think when the final numbers come out, they'll be closer to $20 trillion of investment. That's never been done by any country at any time, not even close.
Jesus Christ.
Just over 1 year ago, under the radical left Democrats, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world.
No, we're not, sir. They just revived us. They finally found a rhythm. But they know we're going to crash at any time.
In fact, the United States economy is on pace to grow at double the rate that was projected by the IMF just last April. And with my growth and tariff policies, it should be much higher. I really believe we can be much higher than that. And this is
depending on what
great
SCOTUS
news.
says.
It's great for all nations. The USA is the economic engine on the planet. And when America booms, the entire world booms. It's been the history. When it goes bad, it goes bad. You all follow us down and you follow us up. And we're at a point that I don't believe we've ever been. I never thought we could do it this quickly. My biggest surprise is I thought it would take more than a year, maybe like a year and 1 month. But it's happened very quickly. This afternoon, I want to discuss how we have achieved this economic miracle, how we intend to raise living standards for our citizens to levels never seen before, and perhaps how you too and the places where you come from can do much better by following what we're doing, because certain places in Europe are not even recognizable, frankly, anymore. They're not recognizable. And we can argue about it, but there's no argument. friends come back from different places. I don't want to insult anybody and say I don't recognize it. And that's not in a positive way. That's in a very negative way. And I love Europe, and I want to see Europe go good, but it's not heading in the right direction. In recent decades, it became conventional wisdom in Washington and European capitals that the only way to grow a modern Western economy was through ever-increasing government spending, unchecked mass migration, and endless foreign imports. The consensus was that so-called dirty jobs and heavy industry should be sent elsewhere, that affordable energy should be replaced by the Green New Scam, and that countries could be propped up by importing new and entirely different populations from faraway lands. This was the path that sleepy Joe Biden administration and many other Western governments very foolishly followed, turning their backs on everything that makes nations rich and powerful and strong. And there's so much potential in so many nations. The result was record budget and trade deficits and a growing sovereign deficit driven by the largest wave of mass migration in human history. We've never seen anything like it. Quite frankly, many parts of our world are being destroyed before our very eyes, and the leaders don't even understand what's happening. And the ones that do understand aren't doing anything about it. Virtually all of the so-called experts predicted my plans to end this failed model would trigger a global recession and runaway inflation. But we have proven them wrong. It's actually just the opposite. In 1 year, our agenda has produced a transformation like America has not seen in over 100 years. Instead of closing down energy plants, we're opening them up. Instead of building ineffective, money-losing windmills, we're taking them down and not approving any. Instead of empowering bureaucrats, we're firing them, and they're going out and getting jobs in the private sector for 2 and 3 times what they were making in government. So they started off hating me when we fired them, and now they love me. Instead of raising taxes on domestic producers, we're lowering them and raising tariffs on foreign nations to pay for the damage that they've caused. In 12 months, we have removed over 270,000 bureaucrats from the federal payrolls, the largest single-year reduction in government employment since the end of World War II. Nobody thought that was coming, but we had no choice. To make a country great, you can't have all federal jobs. We've cut federal spending by $100 billion and slashed the federal budget deficit by 27% in the single year. It's going to go down quite a bit more from that, driving inflation way down from the record highs of the Biden administration. Every month, they went up and up and up. I promised to cut 10 old regulations for every single new regulation, but instead I've cut, actually, till this point, 129 regulations for every one new regulation approved. So every time they come in with a new regulation, we do at least 10, but so far it's averaging out to 129, if you can believe it. In July, we passed the largest tax cuts in American history, including no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. We also provided 100% expensing. That's the one they like. And bonus depreciation for all new equipment and capital investments to help companies expand and shift production to America. They are so in love with it. They build a plant, they're able to deduct it immediately, the whole thing, rather than waiting 38 to 41 years in the old days. This is a miracle taking place. Nobody thought it would ever be done by any country. It's done by us. It was what made my first term the most successful 4-year term that we've ever had from a financial standpoint. And now we've upped it. This is a 10-year program, not a 1-year program. But you're allowed to deduct everything in 1 year. It used to be 38 to 41 years. With tariffs, we've radically reduced our ballooning trade deficit, which was the largest in world history. We were losing more than $1 trillion every single year, and it was just wasted. It was going to waste. But in 1 year, I slashed our monthly trade deficit by a staggering 77%.
Politician.
And all of this with no inflation.
None of them,
something
boy,
everyone said could not be done. There were a couple
telling this lie.
of brilliant people that actually thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was doing the right thing. Now they all think I'm doing the right thing because they can't believe the numbers. American exports are now up by more than $150 billion. Domestic steel production is up by 300,000 tons a month, and it's doubling over the next 4 months. It's doubling and tripling, and we have steel plants being built all over the country. Nobody thought they'd see that. Factory construction is up by 41%, and that number is really going to skyrocket right now because that's during a process that they're putting in to get their approvals, and we've given very, very quick, fast approvals. In the process, we've made historic trade deals with partners covering 40% of all U.S. trade. Some of the greatest companies and countries in the world. We have countries as our partner, too.
Did y'all catch that faux pas he just did? Even though it's not a faux pas, it was actually the truth. You notice how he started with companies first, then countries? Corporations are bigger than the government.
The European nations, Japan, South Korea, they're our partners. They've gone into massive deals with us, especially on.
Okay, again with this Japan deal. The Japan deal, number one, they don't complete deals. Number two, the Japanese government already went to SoftBank and told the whole world they don't know how the hell they're going to pay for this. They're still coming out of their recession. How the hell are they going to give us $900 million? How, sir? And I know the number's off. I think it might be, I think it's either 900 million or $900 billion. How are they going to do that, sir? How?
Oil and gas. And these agreements raise growth and cause stock markets to boom, not only in the U.S., but virtually every country that came to make a deal, because as you've learned, when the United States goes up, you follow. It's really become a staple. In America, I've stopped the nation-wrecking energy policies that drive up prices while sending jobs and factories to the world's worst polluters. They are indeed polluters under sleepy Joe Biden.
Here we go again. Why are you bringing up Biden? Biden eating ice cream right now.
And they wonder, why was gasoline going up so fast? The gasoline actually topped $5 a gallon, in some places $7 a gallon, and more than 100 major power plants were violently shut down by incompetent people that had no idea what the hell they were doing.
You have people you
Under
don't
my
know what
leadership,
they're
US
doing.
Natural gas production is at an all-time high by far. U.S. oil production is up by 730,000 barrels a day, and last week we picked up
Because OPEC told you to
50
do
million
that.
barrels from Venezuela alone. Venezuela has been an amazing place for so many years, but then they went bad with their policies. 20 years ago, it was a great country, and now it's.
And you didn't like the fact, that there was another superpower emerging in the Western Hemisphere. You didn't like it. I'm talking about America. I ain't talking about Trump.
Helping them, and those 50 million barrels, we're going to be splitting up with them, and they'll be making more money.
Are you going to split up the money that you have in Qatar?
Venezuela is going to do fantastically well. We appreciate all of the cooperation we've been giving. We've been giving great cooperation. Once the attack ended, and they said, let's make a deal. More people should do that. But Venezuela is going to make more money in the next 6 months than they've made in the last 20 years. Every major oil company is coming in with us. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing to see. The leadership of the country has been very good. They've been very, very smart. The price of gasoline is now below $2.50 a gallon in many states, $2.30 a gallon in most states. Then we'll soon be averaging less than $2 a gallon. In many places, it's already down even lower, $1.95 a gallon. Numerous states are at $1.99, numbers that nobody has heard for years. Actually, since my last administration, we got it down to around those numbers. I've signed an order directing and approval of many new nuclear reactors. We're going heavy into nuclear. I was not a big fan because I didn't like the risk. But they have the progress they've made with nuclear is unbelievable, and the safety progress.
Oh God, here we go. More nuclear reactors. Oh, okay. That's the new thing now. Nuclear reactors. He's about to tell us that he found out something. Oh man. Maybe it has something to do with this.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
We're just assuming. I know he's doing this for MAGA. He's not doing this for America. Most Americans still don't even understand what's happening because the big AI data center story is in Memphis, and all they know about Memphis is ribs and crime. I understand. So you want to take hand-me-down reactors to start this AI revolution so you can create more in the interim. Okay. Because I'm sure you're going to tell us you have enough STEM people to maintain these reactors, right? Right. Okay, Trump.
They've made is incredible. We're very much into the world of nuclear energy, and we can have it now at good
He said
prices and
gasoline
very, very safe.
prices will soon
And
be
we're
less
leading
than
the world in
$2
AI by a lot.
This
We're
fucking
leading
guy.
China by a lot. I think President Xi respects what we've done, in part because I've allowed these big companies building these massive buildings to build their own electric capacity. They're building their own power plants, which, when added up,
You hear
is
him?
more than any country anywhere in the world is doing. I read recently.
And what do you think them companies are going to do when they figure out that they can't maintain it with their own budgets? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to lease it out to the people and charge exorbitant rates. So you want corporations now to go into the utility sector. Do you hear what he's doing? Phony Stark over here really thinks he gonna change the world. Okay, sir.
Article in the Wall Street Journal that China's creating so much energy, and they are. I got to hand it to them. But we're creating as much or more, and we're letting them do that. I'm very proud of it. It was my idea. I said, you can't create this much energy. We needed more than double the energy currently in the country just to take care of the AI plants. And I said, we can't.
I'll
do
drop
We
that
have an
link
old
and
grid
prove
system.
you wrong.
And I came up with the idea, you people are brilliant. You have a lot of money. Let's see what you can do. You can build your own electric generating plants. And they looked at me. They didn't believe me. All of the names that are, I think, in the room right now, if you want to know the truth, they didn't believe it. And I said, no, you can't. They came back 2 weeks and they didn't have the plant. They said, we thought you were kidding. I said, no, not only am I not kidding, you're going to have your approvals within 2 weeks. I always say nuclear will take 3 weeks. But most aren't going that. They're going oil and gas. They're even going coal in some cases. Because of my landslide election victory, the United States avoided the catastrophic energy collapse, which befell every European nation that pursued the Green New Scam, perhaps the greatest hoax in history.
The Green
New Scam, windmills all over the place, destroy your land. Every time that goes around, you lose $1,000. You're supposed to make money with energy, not lose money. Here in Europe, we've seen the fate that the radical left tried to impose on America. They tried very hard. Germany now generates 22% less electricity than it did in 2017. And it's not the current chancellor's fault. He's solving the problem. He's going to do a great job. But what they did before he got there, I guess that's why he got there. And electricity prices are 64% higher. The United Kingdom produces just 1/3 of the total energy from all sources that it did in 1999. Think of that, 1/3. And they're sitting on top of the North Sea, one of the greatest reserves anywhere in the world, but they don't use it. And that's one reason why their energy has reached catastrophically low levels with equally.
No, it's because the U.S. told them not to deal with Asia. That's why. Don't tell that lie. BP even told them, I don't want to go into the North Sea, sir. Plus, it didn't help the fact that they left the EU. But since this clown wants to tell us that he's working for Americans, I want him or her or it, we don't discriminate here, I want them to come prove it. Come prove he's working for Americans. I want to hear this. I think you guys want to hear this rationale. No? Or are they going to show us that they were another bot? Because I want y'all to go look at that goddamn. I want y'all to go look at that thumbnail again and tell us how that's working for Americans. To have people lose trillions of dollars because he wanted to have a spat with Europe. Go ahead. Please.
High prices, very low levels. Think of that, 1/3. And you're sitting on top of the North Sea, and they like to say, well, you know, that's depleted. It's not depleted. It's got 500 years. They haven't even found the oil. The North Sea is incredible. They don't let anybody drill. Environmentally, they don't let them drill. They make it impossible for the oil companies to go. They take 92% of the revenues. So the oil companies say, we can't do it. They came to see me. Is there anything you can do? I want Europe to do great. I want UK to do great.
No, you don't.
They're sitting on one of the greatest energy sources in the world.
Even somebody in there knew he was lying.
Sitting on one of the great you can do. I want Europe to do great. I want UK to do great. Sitting on one of the greatest energy sources in the world, and they don't use it. In fact, their electricity prices have soared 139%. There are windmills all over Europe. There are windmills all over the place, and they are losers. One thing I've noticed.
Well, that's funny because China got windmills all over the places and the second largest economy on earth. So how's that working?
Is that the more windmills a country has, the more money that country loses, and the worse that country is doing. China makes almost all of the windmills, and yet I haven't been able to find any wind farms in China. Did you ever think of that? It's a good way of looking at it. They're smart. China is very smart. They make it.
So you're saying China's lying when everybody's got satellites, even though we just showed it. We'll show it again. I think I still have it up. So China, again, he's saying China lied. Let me see. I think I should still have it up. This is their man. I hope y'all understand this. This is their man. China don't have wind farms. Okay. Nuclear energy. Interesting. China don't got wind farms though, right? Okay. China don't got wind farms. This is what he said. What does he have against windmills? He said it was killing birds. All right. Okay. It was killing birds. He must have saw that scene at the beginning of Mission Impossible 3 when they were getting Kerry Russell out. He must have felt some kind of way. It's okay though.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in.
Look, he looked like he finna cry.
Get to work.
They sell them for a fortune. They sell them to the stupid people that buy them, but they don't use them themselves. They put up a couple of.
You mean like us? Because I'm pretty sure those windmills that were out there on the West Coast, I'm pretty sure China probably has a stake in those. So I guess we're stupid too. Okay, go ahead.
Big wind farms, but they don't use them. They just put them up to show people what they could look like. They don't spin. They don't do anything. They use a thing called coal mostly. But China goes with the coal. They go with oil and gas. They're starting to look at nuclear a little bit.
They're starting to look at nuclear. This is what he said. They're starting. China, a nuclear power, is just starting to look at nuclear energy. Okay. Who is? He's running interference. Oh no. They're looking. They're looking. They're looking. They're third in the world, but they're looking. They are slightly under France, but they're looking. Okay. They're looking. They want to go to the moon and put a power plant there, a nuclear plant. But they're looking.
Just fine. They make a fortune selling the windmills, though, and I think really that's one that they wouldn't be surprised if it stopped. They are shocked that it continues to go. They're very friendly with me. They're shocked that people continue to buy those damn things. They killed the birds. They ruin your landscapes. Other than that, I think they're fabulous, by the way. Stupid people buy them. The consequences of such destructive policies have been stark, including lower economic growth, lower standards of living, lower birth rates, more socially disruptive migration, more vulnerability to hostile foreign adversaries, and much, much smaller militaries. The United States cares deeply about the people of Europe. We really do. I mean, look, I am derived from Europe, Scotland and Germany. 100% Scotland, my mother, 100% German, my father. And we believe deeply in the bonds we share with Europe as a civilization. I want to see it do great. That's fine. Scotland, my mother, 100% Germany, really do. I mean, look, I am derived from Europe, Scotland and Germany. 100% Scotland, my mother, 100% German, my father. And we believe deeply in the bond.
Deport him. He's an anchor baby. Deport him. I did it right? He should be deported. He should be great in Europe. Go to your homeland, your ancestral homeland. Go there. You should be great.
We share with Europe as a civilization. I want to see it do great. That's why issues like energy, trade, immigration, and economic growth must be central concerns to anyone who wants to see a strong and united West, because Europe and those countries have to do their thing. They have to get out of the culture that they've created over the last 10 years. It's horrible what they're doing to themselves. They're destroying themselves. It's beautiful, beautiful places. We want strong allies, not seriously weakened ones. We want Europe to be strong. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, these are matters of national security, and perhaps no current issue makes the situation more clear than what's currently going on with Greenland. Would you like me to say a few words of Greenland? I was going to leave it out of the speech, but I thought...
We found out why he was so mad at windmills. The motherfucker went to go play mini golf that one time, and the windmill kept beating him. I get it. But no, there's a real reason why he hates windmills.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in.
Yeah, he went to court. Him and his administration went to court to stop offshore windmills, and they said, "Nah, we good."
I think I would have been reviewed very negatively. I have tremendous respect for both the people of Greenland and the people of Denmark. Tremendous respect.
Here we go.
But every NATO ally has an obligation to be able to defend their own territory. And the fact is, no nation or group of nations is in any position to be able to secure Greenland other than the United States. We're a great power, much greater than people even understand. I think they found that out 2 weeks ago in Venezuela.
Oh my God.
We saw this in World War II when Denmark fell to Germany after just 6 hours of fighting and was totally unable to defend either itself or Greenland. So the United States was then compelled. We did it. We felt an obligation to do it, to send our own forces to hold the Greenland territory. And hold it we did at great cost and expense. They didn't have a chance of getting on it, and they tried. Denmark knows that. We literally set up bases on Greenland for Denmark. We fought for Denmark. We weren't fighting for anyone else. We were fighting to save it for Denmark. Big, beautiful piece of ice. It's hard to call it land. It's a big piece of ice. But we saved Greenland. and successfully prevented our enemies from gaining a foothold in our hemisphere. So we did it for ourselves also. And then after the war, which we won it big. Without us, right now, you'd all be speaking German and a little Japanese, perhaps. After the war, we gave.
Don't we already do that, sir? Don't you say hamburger and sushi? Don't we say sayonara suckers? My God.
Greenland back to Denmark. How stupid were we to do that? But we did it. But we gave it back.
Because it
But
wasn't
how
yours.
ungrateful are they now? So now our country and the world face much greater risks than it did ever before because of missiles, because of nuclear, because of weapons of warfare that I can't even talk about. 2 weeks ago, they saw weapons that nobody ever heard of. They weren't able to fire one shot at us. They said, what happened? Everything was discombobulated. They said, we got them in our sights. Press the trigger, and nothing happened. No anti-aircraft missiles went up. There was one that went up about 30 feet and crashed down right next to the people. That
You just said one didn't go up.
Press the trigger, and nothing happened. No anti-aircraft missiles went up. There was one that went up about 30 feet and crashed down right next to the people that sent it. They said, what the hell is going on? Those defensive systems were made by Russia and by China. So they're going to go back to the drawing boards, I guess. Greenland is a vast, almost entirely uninhabited and undeveloped territory, sitting undefended in a key strategic location between the United States, Russia, and China. That's exactly where it is, right smack in the middle. Wasn't important nearly when we gave it back. You know, when we gave it back, it wasn't the same as it is now. It's not important for any other reason, you know, everyone talks about the minerals. There's so many places. There's no rare earth. No such thing as rare earth.
There's no such thing as a rare earth. Now there's no such thing as rare earths. So you negotiated a deal with China, well, a framework for something that's non-existent.
You know, when we gave it back, it wasn't the same as it is now. It's not important for any other reason, you know, everyone talks about the minerals. There's so many places. There's no rare earth. No such thing as rare earth. There's rare processing, but there's so much rare earth.
Rare
And
processing.
to get to this rare earth, you got to go through.
Oh shit. He said there's such thing called rare processing. So there's something beyond igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. I like this guy. There's no such thing as rare earth. Oh my God. Am I allowed to say it? MAGA elected Mr. Belding.
Yo, fuck nuts.
They elected the white man that says, hey, 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 what's going on over there? That's who they elected. They elected J.D. Vance, who is Screech. MAGA has no Zach Morris, no AC Slater, no Kelly Kapowski, no Jesse Spano, no Lisa Turtle. They don't even have a Tory. They don't have Mikey. They don't have the chick from the first season. They don't have Miss Bliss. They don't have the black teacher. And you think this is who's representing us. Fam, they don't even have Lark Voorhees when she fucked her face up. Shout out to Lark.
What the hell?
They don't even have Mr. Belding's wife stuck in the elevator.
Robert, stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
This is who they elected? Fam. They don't even have Max.
You want some more?
We might have more. They don't even have Zach's parents.
You want some more?
We might have more. They don't even have the cocksucker that Zach hired to play his father when he got in trouble and he was going to get suspended.
You want some more?
We might have more. They don't even have AC Slater's dad, who always disappears but shows up for 3 episodes.
You want some more?
We might have more. They don't even have his sister, who Zach tried to date, even though AC told him not to date him, but he still did it anyway because he's a white man.
You want some more?
We might have more. They don't even have Jesse's speed pills.
You want some more?
We might have more. They don't even have Lisa's upper middle class lifestyle.
You want some more?
We might have more. We don't even have Screech's crew. And don't be confused, Screech had a crew.
You want some more?
We might have more. That's right, Zach is Asian. I did forget about that episode. That was hilarious, by the way. They don't even have the chick that Zach was crushing on during the summer.
You want some more?
We might have more. They don't even have the dude that Kelly was dating that she left Zach for, and then found out he was an asshole.
You want some more?
We might have more. They don't even have the new class from the first season that was an exact replica of the series.
You want some more?
We might have more. They don't even have the kids from season 2 through 7, including Big Tommy D.
You want some more? Do you?
We might have more. They don't even have the primetime series, The College Years.
You want some more?
We might have more. They don't even have the TA/RA/ the fake Mr. Belding / football player. They don't even have him running their lives.
You want some more?
We might have more. We don't even have the wedding in Hawaii.
You want some more? Do you? All right, bim, bam, boom. Somebody get this nigga out of my way.
And I was not about to bring up Bayside. This is who's representing us.
You know,
Get to work!
Hundreds of feet of ice. That's not the reason we need it. We need it for strategic national security and international security. This enormous unsecured island is actually part of North America, on the northern frontier of the Western Hemisphere. That's our territory. It is therefore a core national security interest of the United States of America. And in fact, it's been our policy for hundreds of years to prevent outside threats from entering our hemisphere. And we've done it very successfully. We've never been stronger than we are now. That's why American presidents have sought to purchase Greenland for nearly 2 centuries. You know, for 2 centuries, they've been trying to do it. They should have kept it after World War II, but they had a different
That
president.
wasn't
That's all. People
yours.
think differently. Much more necessary now than it was at that time, however. In 2019, Denmark said that they would spend over $200 million to strengthen Greenland's defenses. But as you know, they spent less than 1% of that amount. 1%, there's no sign of Denmark there. And I say that with great respect for Denmark, whose people I love, whose leaders are very good. It's the United States alone that can protect this giant mass of land, this giant piece of ice, develop it and improve it and make it so that it's good for Europe and safe for Europe.
Giant piece of ice, but you want it. I told you, man, never mind.
Good for us. And that's the reason I'm seeking immediate negotiations to once again discuss the acquisition of Greenland by the United States, just as we have acquired many other territories throughout our history, as many of the European nations have. They've acquired, there's nothing wrong with it. Many of them, some went in reverse, actually, if you look. Some had great, vast wealth, great, vast lands all over the world. They went in reverse. They're stuck back where they started. That happens too. But some grow. But this would not be a threat to NATO. This would greatly enhance the security of the entire alliance, the NATO alliance. The United States is treated very unfairly by NATO. I want to tell you that. And when you think about it, nobody can dispute it. We give so much and we get so little in return. And I've been a critic of NATO for many years.
But you just gave them money.
And yet I've done more to help NATO than any other president by far, than any other person.
So why did you
have
give them
NATO
money?
if I didn't get involved in my first term? The war with Ukraine is an example. We are thousands of miles away, separated by a giant ocean.
Uh-huh.
It's a war that should have never started, and it wouldn't have started if the 2020 U.S. presidential election weren't rigged. It was a rigged
Oh,
election.
Jesus Christ. So you're assuming that the war in Ukraine wouldn't have popped off. You're assuming that. I guess you're going to say October 7th wouldn't have happened if you were there too, even though you've said this in the past. Oh, okay, dude. Right. Because you had to go kill Soleimani and al-Baghdadi because the Islamists weren't acting up, right? Okay. Okay. Let's not forget the fact that when you were in office, they were lobbing bombs at each other. You didn't stop it there. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, I know. You're going to bring up the Abraham Accords. And they told you 4 or 5 years later, fuck your Abraham Accords, right? Okay. All right.
Everybody now knows that. They found out. People will soon be prosecuted for what they did.
Right.
It's probably breaking news, but it should be. It was a rigged election. You can't have rigged elections. You need strong borders, strong elections, and ideally a good press. I always say it. Strong borders, strong elections, free, fair elections, and a fair media. The media is terrible. It's very crooked. It's very biased, terrible.
It's very biased. It's very biased. So you should pull Fox News's funding then. You should pull MSNBC's funding then, if it's so biased. You should pull Laura Loomer's funding. She's biased. You should deny Nick Swarter any access to you, him and Nick Shirley. They're biased. Since you want to bring up media. Everybody in that press room every day should have their credentials pulled. She should just be doing press conferences every day to no questions. Since you want to say the media is not fair, it's bias. Because your press secretary is a media figure who has to tout your agenda, but that's not bias. When she gets hit with questions that you have to sit there and they know the truth, she sits there and lies. That's not bias. Okay. All right. But we're supposed to care that she's pregnant. Wouldn't that be bias?
Someday it'll straighten out because it's losing all credibility. Think of it. When I went in a landslide, a giant landslide, won all 7 swing
Never
states,
won in a landslide, asshole.
Won everything. And they only get negative press. That means it has no credibility.
You didn't win in a landslide,
if they're going to get credibility,
asshole.
they're going to have to be fair. So you need a fair press. But you also need those other elements. And I inherited a terrible, terrible situation. If you look, the border was open, the inflation was raging, everything was bad with the United States when I came into office. But I also inherited a mess with Ukraine and Russia, something that would have never happened. And I know Putin very well. He and I would discuss Ukraine. It was the apple of his eye, but he wasn't going to do anything. I said, Vladimir, you're not doing it. He would never have done it. It was terrible what happened. I could see it happening too. After I left, I could see it happening. Biden had given Ukraine and NATO $350 billion, a staggering sum, $350 billion.
You just gave it Ukraine $800 million in incentives. Shut up. And that's in your defense budget. Shut up.
I came in and just like the southern border, just like inflation, just like our economy, I said, wow, this place is in trouble, meaning our country. All of these things were out of control. But the border was out of control. We fixed it with the strongest border anywhere in the world.
Oh my God.
And I've now been working on this war for 1 year, during which time I settled 8 other wars. India, Pakistan. I settled.
And lobbing bombs at each other.
Vladimir Putin called me, Armenia, Azerbaijan. He said, I can't believe you settled that one. They were going on for 35 years. I settled it in 1 day. Then President Putin called me. He said, you know, I can't believe
I said, you know, you got to stop lying. Huh. Well, I thought you stopped it. I thought you stopped it. Why are they still on this? They're still ready to go to war, but okay. You're right. You're right.
worked on that war for 10 years trying to settle it. I couldn't do it. I said, do me a favor, focus on settling your war. Don't worry about that one. What does the United States get out of all of this work, all of this money, other than death, destruction, and massive amounts of cash going to people who don't appreciate what we do? They don't appreciate what we do. I'm talking about NATO. I'm talking about Europe. They have to work on Ukraine. We don't. The United States is very far away. We have a big, beautiful ocean separating us. We have nothing to do with it. Until I came along, NATO was only supposed to pay 2% of GDP. But they weren't paying. Most of the countries weren't paying anything. The United States was paying for virtually 100% of NATO. And I got that stopped. I said, that's not fair. But then more importantly, I got NATO to pay 5%, and now they were paying, and now they are paying. So something nobody said was possible. They said, we will never go up higher than 2%. But they went to 5%, and now they're paying the 5. They didn't pay the 2, and now they're paying the 5. And they're stronger for it, and they have an excellent, by the way, Secretary General, who's possibly in the room. Mark, are you here? Yes, he's here. Hello, Mark. We never asked for anything, and we never got anything. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force, where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that. Okay, now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement I made, because people
okay, I'm done. This motherfucker, I don't know what he talking about. That's they man. All right. So they said this speech is legendary. Are you serious? Okay. All right. Okay. Legendary. You think this is legendary? Oh, you need the same group of countries that were putting tariffs on us. Oh, okay. All right. But all right. And of course, look at MAGA. This is MAGA. They're never gonna beat them racism allegations.
You watched President Trump speak, Ken. Is there a single word you might use to characterize his remarks?
I'm not good at these sort of like guess a word games.
Well, that's precisely why
let me tell you what will be maybe out of sync with many other people's views.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
He gave a speech where he unquestionably made it clear that the United States wants to see Europe economically prosper.
No, they don't.
And I think that was a really important message to be delivered, and I hope the Europeans heard it. Because over the course of the...
What shall we talk about? I think it's kind of obvious. You watched President Trump speak, Ken.
Bootlicker.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in
Bootlicker. 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 I can't wait to talk about that TikTok thing, boy. I can't wait. Yeah. All right, you bootlick. They're praising this white supremacist speech. Okay. The U.S. is the economic engine. Well, how's that working out? But there's that, fam. I just wanted to bring you that really quickly. F this guy. I'm gonna go take a break because you know how much energy it takes to listen to black conservatives. So hopefully you learned something. If you did a dumber job, if not, I try to be better next time. I will see y'all in about an hour and a half, and we'll have fun. So y'all take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence.
Oh, here it goes!
Time's up.
Get your ass up! We gotta get out of here now!
But did we have a good time here? Hello?
Gotta get your groove on.
At the end of the day gotta end.
That's it.